Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope you're well. In today's video I have a unboxing of a new deck that has been very kindly sent to me for a review. So full disclosure, this is not a deck that I was aware of until the creator kindly reached out to me and asked if I would like to showcase the deck on my channel. This is called the LUX EX UMBRA Tarot and it's a French creator, and I have hardly really looked at this deck because I hadn't seen it or heard it before. From what I'm aware, it funded fully on Kickstarter and it is a Tarot de Marseille style deck and the cards are in French. The deck fuses together symbolism and astrology in 78 original illustrations. The deck is currently available at the moment at the website, which I will link below so you can take a look at it. But first, let's open up this box and take a look at the deck. So I did already unbox it just to make sure it was all safe, but I've not actually taken a look at the cards yet. So it's really nicely and safely packaged, and it comes with a beautiful card. This says, "Dear Emily, hope this tarot deck will bring you joy, growth and luck. Pauline." And that is just beautiful. This must be one of the images from the deck. Wow. Now that is stunning. I cannot wait to look at the deck now. So it looks like there is a pouch for the deck here. So let's just open this up and take a look. Oh, this is a lovely little pouch. It's kind of velvety with a lovely drawstring, and it's got this key embroidery on the front. That's so pretty. How beautiful. And let's just take a look at this deck. Oh my goodness. This is so beautifully presented. How gorgeous. I'm always a little bit reluctant to open up these decks when they arrive like this because they are so stunning. So this is the LUX EX UMBRA Tarot, and Mystiic is the name of the website and I guess the brand of the creator. A lovely little sticker there. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love this. This detail, stunning. Yeah, I think I might have to cut this ribbon. Definitely going to try and reuse this tissue paper though. Wow, it's so beautifully presented. You can tell when there's been so much effort that's been put into the packaging that it's really a labour of love, and there's so much passion that's gone into the creation of a deck like this, which is something I really appreciate. It's a beautiful sort of velvet rose petal feeling cardboard box. I always end up damaging these boxes, which I hate. I'm going to try and open this. Oh, look, on the back it says light out of shadow. Can you see that? Stunning. TDM is not a style and a system that I'm so comfortable with yet. It is something I would like to study in depth in the next few years. I'm currently focusing on Thoth at the moment. I do have the 1JJ Swiss, which is a form of Marseille but slightly different. So here you go. We have this beautiful guidebook here. You can see there's the texture. It's just beautifully created, and then you've got that key embossed. Oh wow, just the way that this has been created. So in the guidebook you have it in French, and then you have an English version as well. So you've got a word from the creator, introduction, lights and shadows. So it says the LUX EX UMBRA Tarot deck draws its inspiration from the world's magic. Its 78 illustrations were created in digital painting from Latin lux, light, and umbra, shadow. Beyond fortune telling, tarot is the ideal tool to support a projective work. The notion of shadow, which was defined by Carl Gustav Jung, founder of analytical psychology, represents the positive or negative parts of our personality that we have repressed. The recognition and reintegration of the shadow can help us evolve and develop our spirituality. Mirror of the unconscious, tarot promotes self-discovery and self-knowledge. Each card of the deck contains its share of lights, upright, and shadows, reversed. So then it tells you a little bit about the structure, the correspondence tables, and this looks like a poem here. Nature is a temple in which living pillars sometimes give voice to confused words. Man passes there through forests of symbols. which look at him with understanding eyes, like prolonged echoes mingling in the distance, in a deep, tenebrous unity, vast as the dark of night and as the light of day. Perfumes, sounds, and colours correspond. There are perfumes as cool as the flesh of children, sweet as oboes, green as meadows, and others are corrupt and rich, triumphant, with power to expand into infinity, like amber and incense, musk, benzoin, that sing the ecstasy of the soul and senses. So this is by Charles Baudelaire, and it's The Flowers of Evil, translated by William Aguilera and the Academy Library Guild. So here you go, you've got a short description about the card and ways in which you can read the particular card in light or in shadow, which I love. This is just fabulous. Then you've got some more about the suits, the court cards, rituals and tarot spreads, and you've got a little bit here about ways in which you can read with 3-card spreads. Oh wow, okay, and we're getting stuck straight in. So these are the backs, and they have this beautiful embossed celestial constellation detail and design, and it's just stunning. And then you've got the name of the brand Mystiic on the back, and it's just so beautiful, and it's a rose petal finish, I think, really soft and beautiful. And then I love this edging, this beautiful black, it's stunning. And then here we go, we'll get stuck straight in to the walkthrough. So here you have the Fool, and it seems like a sort of initial light and a path is lit for you, and the feathers feel like opportunities. There's so much celestial happenings in this card. It's so beautiful. And of course you've got the astrological correspondences on each card. The Magician. Wow, I love that. Gosh, it's stunning. It looks like it's sort of fusing all the different elements all together. It's beautiful. Wow, the High Priestess, look at that. Oh my goodness. It's just beautiful. The Empress. It looks like a pearl. This is actually kind of reminding me a little bit of the Spacious Tarot, although it's sort of a different style. It feels like there is space within the cards for the reader and the querent to come into the cards. I think this would be beautiful for sort of pathworking and diving deep with. The Emperor. It's like a diamond with an arachnid on top. I think that's a spider. The Hierophant with that key, so stunning. So these are digital paintings, it says. So I am not au fait with digital artwork particularly. I am working on creating my own tarot deck, but I'm using sketches. But learning a technique like this would be incredible. This just looks so beautiful. So this is the Lovers, beautiful roses. It's so simple and elegant. I think there's so many people would connect to this. The Chariot. I just love that duality. It sort of echoes those two beasts that pull the chariot along, but it's just in one creature. Justice, like a massive eye of the universe. I love how just one simple image with so much detail in it can evoke the meaning of a particular card. The Hermit, wow, and that looks like a door leading into a little hut, I think, in the middle of a woodland. Got the glyph for Jupiter there. The Wheel of Fortune. You've got a stag, and it looks like someone is on a quest, so it's almost like a check-in point maybe. And oh, I can see the wheel here, so we can only see part of the wheel. I think this is supposed to be the wheel. It looks like the sky is turning around and we are within the wheel, which I just love. Strength, and you've got the elemental glyphs here, and the hands bringing it back to self. I love that. So this is the Hanged Man. I think this is incense, and the incense smoke wafting up, so it speaks to me of sort of prayers being lifted to the heavens. And that then reminds me of Odin on the tree of life and him waiting for the wisdom of the runes, and that speaking to the divine. That is an interesting depiction for sure. You have Death, beautiful, a moth, so stunning. Temperance, this looks like an orca, I think, don't quote me, it's just beautiful. The Devil, and you have the glyph for Pluto, so I'm wondering if this is Pluto. Let's see what the guidebook says about this. The devil brings our dark side to light. His power of attraction is incredibly strong and consumes beyond the horizon, the point of no return. So light is magnetism, power, protection, passion, and shadow would be selfishness, manipulation, dependency, temptation. So that's all it says. So I am not sure. Or maybe potentially this is like oblivion, like a black hole in the universe, potentially. Let me know what you think. Here you have the tower. I think that's such a beautiful depiction. And the birds, maybe these are crows, I'm not sure. And the burning, the crumbling of the tower. The star, so beautiful with these shooting stars. Oh, the moon, wow. Look at that card. That is so beautiful. And the sun. Wow, there's so much to dive into here. Judgment. And you have the world. That is a beautiful, beautiful card. It's stunning. You have the Ace of Wands. So here we get into the Marseille style. Two of Wands. And it's a lot more pippish, but still illustrated in a sense, because you've got the details. The Three of Wands, and you also have the shapes to work with in terms of numerological correspondences to pull in. So this is the Page of Wands, and it's got the Sagittarius glyph there. You have the Queen of Wands with Leo. You've got the King of Wands here and Aries. And the Knight of Wands is Mars. And then we go into the Pentacles. So the colours are obviously aligned to each suit. I just love those pentacles, they're so beautiful. And you've got these stunning florals. That's a stunning Four of Pentacles. Lovely. So if you like reading with Pip Star decks, you might enjoy this kind of deck and the beauty of the artwork. That is lovely. The Seven. I think that this deck would be really, really beautiful for magic and manifestation. That 10 of Pentacles is so beautiful. So here we have the Page of Pentacles, and this is Virgo. You have the Queen of Pentacles, and it is Taurus. You have the King of Pentacles, which is Capricorn. And you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is Jupiter. So it seems like the Knights are planets, whereas the other court cards are zodiacal signs. And you have your swords here. It's a lot more moody in terms of the colour. I love that lightning, wow. I think that really beautifully depicts and portrays the meaning that we know from the RWS as well. And this 3 as well with the heart. That's so stunning. Wow, that's so gorgeous. The chains. I love this. It's so beautiful, and the complexity of what is actually a very simple image in terms of there's not so much going on, but it really, really portrays the meaning so beautifully. And that 10, wow. So here you have the Page of Swords, and it shows Gemini. The Queen of Swords, which is Aquarius. The King of Swords, which is Libra. And the Knight of Swords, which shows the planet Mercury. And then we go into our cups. Beautiful. That is gorgeous. that too. Oh wow, I love that. I think the elements really come through so strongly in this deck, as well as the astrological correspondences. The sevens are so beautiful. I love that. That looks like the cups that are behind the chap in the RWS. And yeah, abundance, beautiful. And here you have the Page of Cups, which is represented by Pisces. You have the Queen of Cups, which is Scorpio, and that would definitely be my significator, or one of them. The King of Cups, which is Cancer, and the Knight of Cups, which is Venus, the planet Venus. So there's our walkthrough of this gorgeous deck. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I really am curious as to your first impressions of this, if you haven't seen it before, or if you backed it on Kickstarter, and what you are thinking so far. So I'd like to just take a moment to shuffle this up off camera and then come back and do a little energetic, intuitive reading for the collective. So I will be right back. So let's just set an intention that we'd like to receive a message for the collective and give the deck a little shuffle. So a timeless, energetic reading for the collective. It actually shuffles really beautifully. I think sometimes the rose petal, they sometimes stick together oddly. I think I might shuffle this way actually, because it's quite a large deck. So a timeless, energetic reading for the collective. So whenever anyone watches this, there may be a message for them here. Oh, here we go. 2 messages at once. Is there anything else? Okay. Okay. So this is our Knight of Swords with Mercury as our glyph. So I think first and foremost we have some real intense emotions here, and I think that it is really affecting the way that we are thinking about moving forward and the things that have got to get done, and potentially there is a feeling of like disappointment and sadness about projects, things that have been lost, time that has been lost, energy that has been lost. I am really feeling like there's an emotional connection to something that just hasn't come through, or is just something that maybe we were waiting for, right, that just didn't come through in the way that we were expecting or hoping, considering the way the last year has been. There's been a lot of unexpected turns, twists and turns, and I think that it feels like now we're in a place where we may not want to wait as such, but we are in this holding space, this holding place, and really we need to kind of come to terms with that we do need time to heal some of the wounds, some of the things that have disappointed us, that we have wanted to pursue. Perhaps it's something such as a planned travel, or something like a wedding, or a project, or a new job, or perhaps a family holiday even, or something that you were emotionally invested in achieving and seeing through and enjoying, you know, and really experiencing to the fullest, and that has been taken away from us. So it feels like there's some sadness there, but it also feels like there's resistance here, and not wanting to slow down, not wanting to stop, wanting to barrel ahead, wanting to just go at the speed of light, and we are not able to. There is resistance there. There is a lot of resistance holding us back. I think as well, because there's so much disappointment here and we have the Knight, it really does speak of a kind of almost perfectionist idea around what it was that we were hoping to achieve and see through and see happen and experience, and that, you know, there is a real resistance to, you know, facing the fact that that's not going to happen in the same way, or that there are changes to be made, and that actually we do have to hang back and wait and slow down before we just barrel on in. And perhaps that's with communication as well, because the Knight often speaks to that, and especially the Knight of Swords. I think that there is a journey that the Knight is on, and it's a quest. It's a really important quest, and something that, again, has been built up. And because it's in reverse, it feels like there's this blockage, there's this resistance, and it's very disappointing, and something that we are not happy about having to stop and pause and slow down with. But this being in the centre, the Hanged Man really does speak of that need to just slow down, pull back, and make some sacrifices as well. You know, this ultimately can be a very nourishing space for us to be in, but if we are constantly looking at what we haven't been able to achieve and looking at what we want more of, what we want right now, what we want to go after right now, you know, even if it comes down to the littlest things in the way that we are behaving and treating others and speaking to others, perhaps it's just time to take a step back and slow down our thoughts, slow down the way that we are behaving, and think before we speak. You know, it could be as simple as that, that whilst all of this has been happening over here, these things that have been disappointing us, these things that we've not been able to achieve or go for or fully experience in a joyful kind of way, perhaps there's a potential here that we are not taking it out on others as such, but, you know, really perhaps being very vocal about that. And not that we should hold ourselves back if we are wanting to express our feelings. I absolutely believe that it's really important to look at the way that we are feeling and look at those things that perhaps have been buried deep underground and dig them out and spend some time self-reflecting. But I think that's what this is for, and it's sort of saying to slow down and perhaps don't tell everybody everything you're feeling, because also it might not be so helpful for others to hear. And it's also that mindfulness, being mindful about other people and the pain and the suffering that other people are going through as well, because it's not just you who has experienced this traumatic turmoil and upheaval, and everybody has been going through their own version of these kinds of disappointments and sadnesses and losses, and it's a very intense time in the world. And I think that the medicine, the wisdom that the Hanged Man has to offer us is really about slowing down, taking our time, and just saying, you know what, we can't necessarily do those things in the same way that we imagined that we could before. And things have got to shift and change, and that's where we can look to turning this back the other way. Mercury deals with communication. Mercury deals with the way that we are showing up in the world, the way that we are, you know, treating others, as I said. And I really feel like we need to be really careful about our words, be really impeccable as well with our words, be, you know, true to ourselves, yes, but not everyone has to know all the ins and outs of the way you're feeling. And perhaps we can be kinder and a little bit more compassionate to others if perhaps you know they are going through things themselves, and if you are in a absolute rush to share all of those things that you are fearful about as well, and that you are sad about, and that you're disappointed about, and that haven't come through, that haven't brought you those experiences of joy, etc., then it can actually do more harm than good. And also you can get yourself in this rut. Absolutely, I'm aware about toxic positivity, and I'm very, very mindful about not projecting onto others, and making sure that people have space to move through their emotions, and for myself as well. And, you know, there might be some trusted people that are in your personal circle that you can talk to and really vent to and speak about your experiences in a really truthful and honest way, but not everybody has to hear that. And I think if you are in this kind of frustrated state where you're going out and sharing all of that, it can be damaging not only for others but also for yourself. And I think it comes back to the way we're treating others and the way we're treating ourselves. And right now I think we are being called to take some time out and really just look at the ways in which we have been moving through the world, and maybe, you know, do some shadow work around some of those disappointments. While we are, you know, taking some time to hang upside down, we can take it to a really spiritual place, you know, meditation, breath work, grounding, centering, connecting to the elements again, you know, getting out in Mother Nature. I always think about that. And connecting to the divine as well. You know, if you have a spiritual practice, you can always connect with deity or spirit or the divine or the universe or God, whatever word you like to use, or however you like to think about that. You know, if that's something that resonates for you, that's something that you can do as well, that can support you as you move through and process some of these emotions that are still causing pain and perhaps, yeah, disappointment and sorrow. And I also think that this is the point where we have to come to terms with some of these things, and we are being told to slow down so that we can, so that there is space to do this, so that we can take what we have experienced and learn lessons from it, so that then in the future we can go out and do better. You know, I think that there's a lot of work that we all need to do to support others, to help others, for the planet, for animals, for human rights. There's so many things that we can work on together as a collective, and if we are able to do our own work, take time and be mindful of the way that we're moving through the world, so that we can look after ourselves as well as others, it can be so much more beneficial for the collective, and we can actually start to see some really positive changes, and some, again, as I said, not toxic positivity, but actual gratitude for what we have got and the ways in which we have been able to adapt and turn lemons into lemonade, if you will. You know, if you're upside down for a certain time, you are going to start to learn different ways in which you can get used to that situation, enjoy your time, prayer, meditation, reading, journaling, doing the deep work, taking some time to rest, you know, taking some time for you. So perhaps, for instance, if this was about a holiday that didn't pan out or something, but you have the time and you're at home and you're in a staycation and it's very disappointing and it's kind of like meh, it is what you make of it. So discovering new places around you. If you're in this time, in this sort of liminal space of the Hanged Man, you can do things locally to you to discover new areas in which you live, you know, connect with nature. Again, as I said, you know, there's so many ways in which we can nourish ourselves from this space, and it doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to feel like there's this intense pressure to do all the things and to be all the things and to be that Knight of Swords in this way. We can shine our light and we can be that voice in a more supportive and encouraging way if we're able to take what we've experienced and learn from it and take our time with it before we just move on, barrel onto something. I think it could also be about denial as well. Like, as I said, resistance, yes, but also denial about where we've been. So maybe this is just like a complete, like, wanting to block out the feelings and the suffering and the pain. It feels like it's almost not wanting to go through, not wanting to experience the suffering, and not wanting to, just wanting to barrel on forward and ignore it, and that's not the healthiest thing for us. So I really think there's positive things that we can take from this, and I always like to think about how we can turn this card back around so that we can get the medicine and the wisdom that we need from the card if it is reversed. I do like to read reversals in that way, and then we can extract meanings that can be really helpful for us moving forward and really creating a space for ourselves that is nourishing and in the moment that we are in right now. That is the collective energetic reading that I have intuited using these cards today. So that is my walkthrough of the beautiful LUX EX UMBRA Tarot from Mystiic. I have so enjoyed looking through this deck. I think it is absolutely stunning. It does give me Spacious Tarot vibes, but then bringing in the Marseille style, the TDM style, and obviously the astrological correspondences, the elemental kind of associations as well. It's so rich in symbolism, and I think a beautiful, beautiful reader, especially if you want a really immersive deck, one that you can just deep dive with and path work with as well. I think this is stunning. So I really, really hope that you have enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this deck if it is new to you, if you've not seen it before. Also, have you backed this deck? Have you received it? Have you worked with it? I would love to hear from you, your thoughts on the deck, and if you've worked with it especially, how you're getting on with it. If you have any other thoughts for the reading as well, do pop those in the comments box below as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts around that. As with all of the readings, they are collective, so if something resonates and something else doesn't, then of course take what resonates and leave the rest. As always, thank you again so much for joining me for this walkthrough. If you did enjoy it and you enjoyed looking at the deck, then please do give the video a like and click the thumbs up button. If you like to see more from me and you're not already subscribed, then please do think about subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that little bell notification, because that's what's going to let you know when I create and upload videos just like this one. So with all of that said, thank you again so much for joining me. I hope you stay well and safe, and I look forward to seeing you in another video really soon. Take care. Bye.